Hi, I'm Simon.
And I'm Jennifer. And this is our love story.
So I'd say we've been dating for about 5-6 years now. We met at Cal State Bakersfield in our accounting class. When I first saw Jennifer, I knew she was someone I wanted to talk to. I wanted to get to know. And it's kind of funny how things work out, because that first quarter semester class, I did not end up saying a single word to her. I tried coming in early. I tried leaving class later. I tried talking to her after class, before class. I tried to make eye contact with her. Pretty much anything and everything I tried to do, it did not work out, and I couldn't really ever get a chance to talk to her. Next quarter, we had both myself, Jennifer, and her twin sister Jaylene ended up retaking that same class, and at that point I knew this was the girl for me, or I figured I should go talk to her.
Yeah, so actually the first time we took that class together, I really didn't notice him. I just knew he was probably trouble. He always came in late to class, and he told really bad jokes. I was just like, no, do not want to be associated with that guy. But just funny how it all worked out. We happened to both having to retake that same class, and even in that second retake, or that first retake, we sat separately because I was like, no, I do not want to be associated with him. But luckily my twin sister was a nice person, and she was like, we should be nice, he doesn't know anyone here, we should let him be in our group project. So
for that, I had to put out all the stops where I just played the pity card. I asked them, hey, I'll do all the work, I volunteer to do all the projects, make all the PowerPoints.
Yeah.
And
so why not?
And so that's how we met. I'd say our our relationship, I'd say just, we've, like every other relationship, have had our ups and downs, but it's just been a great journey. Me coming from a only child, I was a only child, and so seeing Jennifer with her twin and her family and how much they prioritize and value family time and quality time, and just how welcoming they all are and to everyone and everyone's partners, it was just a complete shift for me, and seeing that different perspective and different dynamic was just life-changing for me. And also they were extremely welcoming, and so I felt like kind of part of the family really early on without having to just put too much effort in. And
but like you mentioned, our ups and downs, we've definitely, we broke up for a bit, and then I swore I would never get back together with him, but I felt like God had different plans, and he gave us another chance to really just fall in love with each other again. And so it was just this next time around when he came back into my life, it was just perfect, and we got to experience so many different adventures together. He's afraid of heights, and I took him skydiving, and I'm kind of afraid of the ocean.
She's very afraid of the ocean.
Yeah, and he took me scuba diving. So it's just as we see these things we go through, and even though they scare us, it's nice that we get to do it together.
Mm-hmm. And so about in 2018, 2019, that's when I moved from Bakersfield to Orange County to work, and at that point Jennifer was still over here in Bakersfield, so we were doing the long distance thing for about a year and a half before Jennifer finally decided to take the step and move down to Orange County. About 1 month into her time in Orange County, her twin sister gets a job offer for a position in Hawaii. And then at that point, Jennifer says, hey, I'm actually not staying in Orange County, but I'm going to be going to Hawaii. And this isn't really up for discussion. This is just happening. And so we had an agreement where she would stay in Hawaii for about a year and come back. But unfortunately, COVID hit. So
I just felt like it wasn't fair for me to leave after a year in Hawaii. So I was like, I think I need to stay here a little longer, and he was sweet enough to agree.
And so kind of along that time, we were working remotely, so I was actually able to work in Hawaii part-time, and I think in about 2020, that's kind of when I knew I was ready to take the next step and propose to Jennifer. That was not a easy task, but I think Jennifer, you'd probably tell the story a little bit better than me.
So I really don't let him get away with anything. So he can't really surprise me because I am always like, oh, are you going to do this? Like, oh, is this what you're going to do for a surprise? So it's really bad because I know he plans it and I just spoil it all the time. So I thought, like, I just, this proposal was like a complete shock to me. And I was just really proud of him for like getting away with it. But it really, like, I have to give credit to my twin sister because she knows me. And she's like, you have to think like 20 steps ahead. So he really wanted to propose under like, a gazebo because that's where he asked me to be his girlfriend the second time around. So he went and he was thinking, I need to hire somebody to go build a gazebo in Hawaii and then tear it down afterwards.
Okay, I didn't think about the tear it down part. I just knew I wanted a gazebo. I wanted our proposal to be there, and I wasn't sure where to really find a gazebo other than just build one.
Yeah, so my twin sister, she's a Capricorn, so she's a little smarter than that. And she's thinking like, oh, why wouldn't you just propose at a gazebo that already exists? So, she helped him plan it, and it was kind of this huge elaborate plan, and she knew that she had to get me out because it was COVID, and I was just like, why do we need to go? Like, let's just stay home. We don't need to do anything. So she had created this fake invitation for her company Christmas party, and she had it pretend to be sent from her HR, and she took a screenshot of it to make it look more believable instead of just a fake invitation, but as if it was sent from her HR. And then she asked me, okay, you want to be my +1? What do you want to eat? And of course I chose prime rib. So it was of course going to be at the Haiku Gardens because it's like this gorgeous place. And I fell in love with it a long time ago, over 10 years ago. And so that's kind of like the plan. And then that day for the party, I was like, okay, like this is what I'm going to wear, something real casual. And my sister was like, wait, what are you wearing? I was like, oh, I'm just going to wear this. And she was like, well, I'm going to wear this. And I was like, oh, I guess I should dress up a little bit more and put on some makeup. So it was kind of like, really funny the way it all worked out. And then on the drive there, I was just really thinking, oh, wow, the Haiku Gardens would be a really pretty place to like get like engaged, like, but I didn't say anything. I just keeping quiet. And to even solidify like the plan, my sister had her coworker call in and say, like, hey, where are you? You guys are late. We're waiting down at the garden. So, even for me to even think like, oh, of course it's still a company party, not thinking of proposal at all. So then, we get there and we're walking down into the gardens, and I noticed it was really like not crowded, and it's usually pretty crowded. And I'm walking down and I see this guy, and I was like, why does that look like Simon? Like, what's happening? And then I saw a photographer and I knew exactly what was happening then. And, he came and gave me this really big hug, and he almost dropped me, and it was on camera. But it was just so gorgeous, like we were like walking towards the gazebo. It was just so beautiful with like the rose petals on the ground and pictures around the gazebo. He did it all and planned it, and it was so perfect. And it's funny though, because my sister, I don't ever get my nails done, like ever. And so, unless special occasion. So my sister has been telling me for like the past 2 weeks, we should go get a manicure. It's so cheap. Like, and I was like, no, I don't need it. Where am I going? So she was so sweet. She planned the whole thing to have some stick-on nails for me to have it ready for the picture. And it was just, everything was just so thought out. And I just thought this proposal was just so special. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then now we, 2 years later, we have this trying to plan for this wedding, and I definitely want like something a little more low key. So I wanted to do like an elopement in Hawaii, and then obviously
in California, we're gonna have a little celebration that we're excited to have our family and friends come to.
Yeah. So we're super excited for that. That way everyone can see, how happy we are, and and have all of our like loved ones there around us to celebrate.
Definitely.
Like, our little union.
And I'd say love for me is just, finding the one person I could just spend my days with without, we could be doing something, we could not be doing anything, and just, we have a good time, we keep each other company, and just things are good. I mean,
yeah,
she's my best friend, and I mean, it's love for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think love for me is definitely like that challenge, like knowing that we can challenge each other, but like it's always going to be in love. And so, you know, to not ever really be sick of him. I mean, yeah, I could be annoyed with him sometimes, but you know, at least I know at the end of the day, like I'm like I miss him. So, yeah. And that's our love story.